Shalom, this is a new Yeshua Israel, a Hebrew on the island too. This is highlights from Genesis 5. And I'm going to try to get through this one as a little quicker because I want to get to Genesis chapter 6. That's the meaty one. That Christianity, and I made a mistake. I thought it was 5, but it's Genesis chapter 6 where the fallen, the Nephilim, telling you guys didn't get it right. Following these Christians and Messianic Hebrews, some of them believing that the fallen are 400 feet giants and stuff like that. I want to get to that one. The fallen is you, Israelite, and our foreparents, the Israelites. We're the fallen ones. We're going after the heathen. We're doing all the crazy things. We're the fallen ones. But anyway, highlights from Genesis chapter 5. It's the descendants of Adam. Remember, listen to it in your car. If you don't have the time to read, this is why I'm making this. Remember, we want to be like Caleb and Joshua, the only ones who made it out of over 600,000 people into the promised land, because they are the only ones that hung dear to the instructions of the Most High. And they're not even found in the Nevi'im, which are the writings of the prophets, or the Ketuvim. Hold on, big mosquito. Or the Ketuvim. Got him. Look. Look. Big mosquito. Look how big he is. That's crazy. Even though his color is black, dark, he's really a white guy. They molest and bite and try to kill and molest. It's what I refer to white people, Caucasians here. Deadly molesting mosquitoes. So anyway, I'm going to leave this. I want to show my wife when I get inside. So anyway, highlights of Genesis chapter 5. In the day that Elohim created man, I'm giving my highlights. Man in the likeness of Elohim, he made male and female and called their name Adam. Now we're in Genesis chapter 5. Adam lived 130 years and begot a son. And the first son was Seth. 800 years Adam begot another son, sons and daughters. So you see, Adam lived a very long time. So that's trying to tell you, even in our physical state back then, when the Most High made everything, like everything was in a perfect state, you find Adam living 800 years. And it's saying Adam begot, so he's fertile at 800 years. He begot sons and daughters. All the days of Adam was 930, and he died. Most High is great. Right now in this fallen state, it says 120, but that's or 100 really, or 80. But you know, people, since this guy right here, has poisoned the food supply, the water supply, the air supply, giving us poison medicines and everything, we don't live that long. And because of us being wicked and following the heathen, the mosquito, we, you know who's the mosquito? We die earlier. Okay. All right. Seth at 105 years begot Enos. Look at these guys are fertile at old ages. Seth lived 870 years after and begot sons and daughters. Seth lived 912 years. So he lived a little less than his father, but still, Adam lived 930 years. I cannot wait until the new system comes. I pray that I see the fall of my enemy, that I'm here and go right into the transformation of the new system. I pray. I hope. And if not, whatever the Most High does, he does. But I pray that I'm one of the elect. And the way that you find out, just you're elect. Forget about that 144,000. You cannot find that in the law. You can't find that in the law, disregard it. The elect are people that sigh and cry, that seek after the Most High. You find that in Zephaniah 3. Ezekiel 9, it tells that the Most High brings either an angel or a specified man to bring the inkhorn and place a mark on the forehead of all those men, those anointed men of the Most High that cry and sigh about the abominations done in Israel, those is a sign of the elect men of the Most High. And when you go in, no, I was wrong. Those that seek after the Most High, it's found in Isaiah 65. And the whole Isaiah 65 is the rebellion and punishment of Israel. Then you have Ezekiel 9. The Most High tells the men and whoever else he has, whether the Malachim, go out and slay utterly the old, the young, the maids, the little children. Start at my house at the Ancient of Men. Everyone that doesn't have the mark. And the people that have the mark are the ones that cry and sigh about the abominations in the midst of Israel. And then Zephaniah 3 is those that don't have a lying tongue and a deceitful heart. Telling you, try to live like Caleb and Joshua. It's the only way you're going to make it. Okay? So anyway, back to Genesis chapter 5. Seth lived 870 years and had sons and daughters. Seth lived 912 years. Enos at 90 years begot Canaan. After that, he was 815 years and begot sons and daughters. Enos lived 905 years. So all of them so far living over 900 years. Canaan was 70 years and begot Mahalah. And Canaan lived 890 years and begot sons and daughters and died 910 years of age. That's incredible. Mahalah lives 65 years and begot Jared. 830 years, Mahalah begot sons and daughters. Mahalah died at 895 years. Still close to the 900s. Incredible. Most High. It's right where you read in Jeremiah 32. He says, I have created all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? It's like them big trees in California. The red oaks or whatever they're called that live a long time. Yeah, he had us living a long time. Jared lived 62 years and begot Enoch after 800 years and begot sons and daughters. Jared lived 962 years. Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. Enoch walked with Elam after he begot Methuselah 300 years and begot sons and daughters 365 years, and Enoch walked with Elohim and he was not, for Elohim took him. So we know that this must be a different Enoch, because the Enoch in Genesis chapter 4, you know how people like my first name in America, like, you know, my Hebrew Israelite name, my Israelite name is Anu Yashar Israel. That's the one that's in my heart, in my heart is my mind. But you know, my commercial corporate America paper name is Edward. There's a lot of different Edwards. All right, so there's different names, like Joshua. There's different Joshuas and different this and that. So the Enoch in Genesis 5 is the one that was translated, right? So this Enoch is coming from the people that I just said, Seth, and the Seth had Enos and Enos, whatever, and Jared, and from Jared, Enoch. And that Enoch was the one. So it's very interesting, okay? And Enoch walked with Elohim and he was not. So remember, when you're reading Genesis, whatever you find in Genesis 4 is not that Enoch that was so be taken by the Most High. And remember, I took it off my old channel because, you know, my old channel, you know, I was a Messianic Hebrew and I'm mentioning scripture from the New Testament, so I avoided it. I'm going to do a video about translation and so forth. Or he was not. That all means everybody died. From back there to right now, everybody died. So I'm going to make that without New Testament apocrypha writings. But I'm going to tell you now, Elijah, Enoch, they say, oh, they were taken away, they were translated. No, they wasn't. They all died as well. I'm going to make that video probably this week, if I remember. Okay, it was in my old channel, and it was on this new channel, but I took it off because, you know, I don't want, like some people say, oh, you know, you don't don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But you know what? I don't want to use the New Testament, which is a creation of the Roman Empire, the white people, even though black people control the Roman Empire too. But the basis, the primary people that did were the Caucasian people. So, you know, I don't want to use it. So I took that video off my channel, this channel, and I'm going to remake it. But everybody died. Okay? Translated, he was not. Nope, they all died. Okay? You have to rid yourself of the Christianity. Everything Christian teaching. All right, Methuselah lived 187 years and begot Lamech. Methuselah lived after he begot Lamech 782 years and begot sons and daughters. Okay, all the days of Methuselah was 969 years and he died. That's a long time. He lived longer than Adam. Okay, Adam lived 930 years. Methuselah lived 969 years and he died. Lamech lived 182 years and begot a son, Noah. Lamech lived after he begot Noah 595 years and begot sons and daughters. Lamech lived 777 years and died. So listen, I have to scrape that a little bit. You know, because when you're reading it, Genesis chapter 4 and chapter 5, you know, it says the Enoch and the Lamech, and then it goes back to Lamech. So they're all in the same. The Enoch there in Genesis 4 is the same one in Genesis 5. All right, Noah was 500 years old and begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And it appears none of Cain's descendants survived the flood. It appears that way. Curse of the ground being cursed by Cain was lifted in Genesis chapter 5 verse 29 with Noah. So that's a highlight from Genesis chapter 5, that the curse of Cain, of the ground being cursed, was lifted. And you know what? The reading, I'm going to not read Genesis chapter 5 because I gave a lot of points, highlights in Genesis chapter 5. I'm going to go to Genesis chapter 6. I'm going to take a break right now. I'm going to do Genesis chapter 6. So this is a new Yashar Israel, Hebrew on the island too. Until next time, Shalom.